we're talking about mountain pose, or tadasana. Tadasana is the foundation pose for all of the other standing poses in yoga. We've already shown the king and queen of the poses, Shirshasana and Salamba Sarvangasana, meaning headstand and shoulder stand. Now we're going to show you how to stand on your feet. In dealing with mountain pose, because it is the foundation pose for all of the other standing postures, the alignment is very important. All of the poses build off of the alignment in this pose. And as a yoga teacher, it makes it easier to align people from pose to pose with certain key points. Lots of people, when they stand, will have a tendency outside of yoga class to stand like this. I believe in art this is called contrapposto. If a model is standing for a prolonged period of time, this is a comfortable and relaxed position. Many people in dance will stand in this position with the feet out. And in yoga, there is a specific way that you stand as well. For mountain pose, what I tell people is that their feet is generally hips width distance apart, which, being from Texas, or in Texas now, that means that your guns, quick draw. This is where your guns are. If you know where your ASIS is, your anterior, superior, iliac spine, your feet are right underneath that spot. And the foot positioning is what some people consider a little bit pigeon toe. With that hips width distance between the feet, usually they'll say it's about 2 fists. You can see that I went right into that because I've worked on it, practiced enough to know the distance. About 2 fist distance, hips width apart, right at your guns. You have parallel lines between the second toe and the heel. That means that from these toes and back through the center of the heel, you have 2 parallel lines. For many people, this feels pigeon toe. It feels like their toes are turning inward. But when you change the foot position, you change the position of the ankle, you change the position of the knee, you change the position of the hip, and therefore in the lower back and the rest of the spine. From there, we have hips width distance. We have parallel lines between second toe and heel. I want you to lift the toes and then spread them gently and have them come back down while trying to maintain a slight amount of that arch in the feet. That's giving you the proper alignment, the foundation pose. The feet, again, are hips width distance apart, right at the guns. You're going to lift the toes, spread them, and have them come down gently while engaging the arches. The kneecaps are lifted. And again, you can notice there's a parallel line from the second toe through the heel. The big toes are a little bit in, so some people say it feels like pigeon toe. But this is how you want to align yourself for mountain dares. You lift the kneecaps. In some styles of yoga, they'll tell you to lock the knees. What that means is they want you to lift the kneecaps. They want you to lift the patella in place. And they want you to engage the fronts of the thigh, the quadricep. You engage the quadricep. You're standing tall. Then you will squeeze your bottom gently so that your tailbone will tuck down and forward. This also means that dantian, or hara, in yoga, is squeezed up and back. It means that from the side, I tend to have a little bit of a sway back. I have a little bit of a pronounced curve in my lumbar spine. When I contract there, it tends to flatten my low back slightly. It gives me a better and more firm foundation in my lumbar spine structurally. That's what we're working towards when you gently squeeze the bottom. So, parallel lines, second toe to heel, feet apart, arches lifted, kneecaps lifted, quadriceps contracted, bottom is squeezed. Now, the spine is then lengthening up and back. The shoulders roll back and down comfortably. The palms are down by the side with the fingertips going down towards the floor. the spine is long, and then you retract the neck gently. Many people have a head forward posture like this from working at a computer. When you're in poses, you're gently retracting. This makes the cervical spine, the neck, longer. It helps back bend the cervical spine. It's very good for herniated discs. It's very good posture. It makes you feel taller. So, hips width distance apart through the feet, parallel lines, second toe to heel. The arches are lifted. The kneecaps are lifted. The quadriceps are contracted. The bottom is squeezed. The belly button pulls in. The spine is lengthened. The shoulder blades fall back and down. The fingers are stretching down towards the floor. The neck is long. The chin is gently tucked, and you're lifting up and out through your crown, through your halo, just as much as your feet are grounded. In mountain pose tends to be a little bit back compared to what people are used to. They're used to having a head forward posture that they maintain while they're at the computer. What you're doing is, in its extreme, is tucking the chin and pulling the head back like someone had grabbed onto my ponytail. This is a back bend to the cervical spine. This is an extreme form that gives you a little bit of a double chin. But in the pose, classically what we're doing is you're lengthening the spine, including the neck. You're lifting up through the crown. You tuck the chin gently, not towards the chest, meaning the chin does not come to the chest, but gently towards the chest, then the head comes back. But it's about halfway between this and this. It means that the neck is longer. You feel tall. The eye gaze is still forward. But retraction, that gentle chin tuck, is very important. It's something that we'll cover in further videos in other poses. So remember, no chin forward. You have the chin gently back, the head gently back with the chin tucked, long spine. Your halo, your crown, is lifting up pose. Tadasana makes you feel like you cannot be knocked over. You cannot be swayed. You are solid. The pose is relaxed in the middle of those contractions. They're slight contractions. They're not aggressive. They do not feel like you're standing in a military pose. It's yoga. You have poise, grace, calm. You're breathing through your nostrils. We covered breath in previous videos. As you hold that posture, you allow the breath to lengthen the spine, making you taller. I'll see you again soon on Robert Gardner Wellness.